Greetings, y'all. Listen, if you're here, it's one of two reasons. You're either about to grab yourself the Unlearn and Relearn Family Journal, or you're looking for a route or some type of guide to empower, strengthen, and broaden the bond between you and your family. And I'm going to give you guys the opening line. Communication is by far the greatest tool the human species was gifted with, but it's also the most overlooked and devalued one also. One of the biggest changes we'll be making with the What Means the World to You campaign is, I said it on the website, I've said it a million times on social media, do we add value to your life? If we add value to your life, indulge in it. If we don't, you need to find something that does. Other than that, if you're not partaking in things that add value to your life or the people you care about or your loved ones, then you're just buying time at that point and you're wasting space. I tell you guys all the time, life is definitely about evolution. If you're not here to be a better version of not only yourself but those before you, then you're just wasting space at that point. You're just reproducing to get identical results. And if that's what you're going to do, then you might as well have jumped out the race with your own vessel and not created anything else to come behind you. So, furthermore, we're going to jump into the Unlearn and Relearn Journal. I'm going to let you guys know some of the main topics we touch on in here. And again, this one, the Unlearn and Relearn Family Journal, is all about family and especially about our babies. So I'm going to give you guys some of the topics, some of the things we touch on here, if it's something that interests you. And I'm also going to give you some behind the scenes shots and footage of me and my family and how we utilize a lot of the things in the Unlearn and Relearn Journal to stay very strong, very, very grounded and unified. As a lot of you guys appreciate us for putting it out there. Let's get into it. Read you guys another opening statement. Plain and simple. It's time to rearrange the things in which we prioritize. Money is not going to change your diaper in old age. The man or woman you're courting might not either. Television won't. Excessive sleep can't. And more times than not, the little person you put off to run behind adults will be the very person you look to for help in your later days. Much of these things and people that we put over our family and units will stop by only to get awake for the obituary, and that's just for confirmation and gossiping reasons. I'm guilty just as some of you may be. I ran the same race years ago. I got that $15 job and I said, okay, cool. I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then 6:30 I could run these errands, make these phone calls, and end the night with my family. We've been programmed to make money the hierarchy of our lives. We establish where we can collect a check and base everything around that. How many of you watching this have been guilty of that? I know I have as well. Then we have the nerve to put our families off because we're too tired and stressed dealing with the ills and responsibilities of adulthood. Let me remind you, the world, the users, negative influences, and adversity don't care. They're coming to interrupt, infiltrate, and redirect your unit, whether you're tired or not. Take a good look at the world around you, and I urge you watching this to do this. Are you happy with the direction that the world is going in? Are you looking forward to the beautiful future? If you can acknowledge that there's something wrong with this place and you're doing nothing on your day-to-day to make sure you and your family are bonded and ready for it, then what does that say about you? In closing, we have to make family time mandatory again, love and loyalty a must, and unity the bare minimum. Logically ask yourself, what and how much can a stranger provide you if they cannot provide it to the people who bleed and look just as they do? I can't speak for us all, but I'd much rather put my interest and trust in those that look, possibly think like, and genuinely appreciate me. So as I was telling you guys previously, the Family Unlearn and Relearn Journal is comprised of both family activities and in sections, information, and substance-wise. What I did with this project is I wanted to make it fun as well, so I did include different exercises and different activities you could do within your family to build trust, to build a communication, to build equality. That's one of the biggest ones. I think due to tradition, conditions, and some other books about life, a lot of adults have been conditioned to believe that children don't deserve the same amount of honor, respect, and things of that nature because they're younger. A lot of adults do feel superior because you're a younger vessel. So that's one of the biggest things I touch on. Equality is huge in my house. I do let my children have a voice. I do let them ask why. We do a number of things. So as I was saying, there's several activities you can dive into with the family, within the family Unlearn and Relearn Journal. Give you a quick example. Activity number 1. This exercise is strictly about comfortability and trust. These are practices I've done with both my infants and older tribe members. The following exercises are extremely simple. Trust is key in any bond, especially the one with your family. Many of us often wonder why they confide in others, go to others for protection, or why there may be a disconnect in the have my back department. So this activity is based around that, building that trust, building that bond with your siblings or your child. This section right here is about unification. This is one of the biggest missing pieces of many family puzzles in 2017. It could stem from a number of things, but that's not what's important at this time. Restoring it is what's most important at this time. And just jumping into the unification section. 3 of the top questions. Does your family feel unified? Has your unity ever been tested? How did you respond to it? That is a huge one. A lot of children have been through some type of detrimental incident with their parent that shattered the trust and the bond. This section is all about figuring it out first, assessing it, and ways that you could restore it. Question number 3. Was it strengthened or weakened by this? So that's definitely something that you would sit down with the family and you would have that open dialogue about. Teamwork makes the dream work. I've talked about that one a gazillion times on the internet, so I'm sure if you've been following me for a while, you already know where I'm headed with that one. Another activity, inclusion. This is a huge one, right? I'm going to give y'all 2 lines off this page. You ever wonder why we put our children away during the most pivotal times in life or attempt to shield them from it? Work, adversity, and much more. Men claim to keep it 100 with the homies, and women swear they've never told a lie during their relationship. Truth and transparency is promoted non-stop, so our relationships can be based on a solid foundation. If you're an adult, I'm sure you've heard that from a male or a female counterpart. The relationship needs to start off based on trust so it can end that way. And if it started off on the lie, it's going to end that way. Blah, blah, blah. Yet, we lie to, are secretive, and not always forthcoming with our children. Do we not think this can affect the foundation just like the other one? Trust and believe, more times than not, they can read and see through your BS, your nervousness about certain subjects, and blatant lie you tell in their face. Inclusion is a huge one. Many parents struggle with inclusion. Let's keep going. Evolution, another one that's self-explanatory. Talked about it a million times on social media. Another family activity here. Let's take a break. Y'all don't mind any background noise. Y'all know I always have my family with me. I'm in my black room where I create, where all the magic happens. And my little ones are sitting at the sliding glass door begging to come in. So ignore any background noise. That's my little people in the back trying to get that shine on camera as well. Lighten up. Free will is one thing that I let my children practice. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do get it misconstrued because of things I teach them. They think we just do yoga, walk, single file, and read all day. Absolutely not. I'm very big on free will. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 subjects out of the lighten up category. Daddy/daughter and mother/son dances. Things like prom, formal events, etc. will come up in your life for your family. Go get dressed up, find some nice tunes, and start practicing the moves now. Just get on their level sometimes. Go have fun. Go do things with them that they may only get from their friends. Show them that you can be, relatable as well. They don't have to just always seek outside people to have a good time and have fun and to just be themselves. I know a lot of you guys notice that. Your kids act totally different when they get around other children or their friends because they've been programmed to believe that they can't exhibit this behavior around you. Number 2, punishment. This is something I do at home, right? Whole court. Kids love that. Get them a gown. I would grab it. My gown is somewhere around it. But we hold court. I let one of my kids wear my robe, another one sit on this side of the room, another one sit on that side. We argue our cases and we figure out who's guilty, who's not. If they're innocent, they beat the case, whatever the case is. We make it fun. We do redirect, we do check each other when we're slipping, but we make it fun and we always incorporate the togetherness and the love. Hold court, present the evidence, and hand down chastising a family. My tribe and myself do this. It's fun and effective when handing down punishment. Where's the trust? That goes back to what I was saying earlier about the Unlearn and Relearn family journal. That's a huge section. I'll let you check that one out on your own when you grab it. Control versus support. A lot of us struggle with this. We're trying to make our kids be the new version of us. Support their identity. Support their individuality. Stop trying to control it and mold them into you want them to be. Just support what it is they want to be. Mark my word, you'll get a lot further with that. I don't have 18-year-olds. I got a 6, 9, 2 1-year-olds. But I'll tell you from experience, me stepping back, letting them hold the wheel, but just telling them what street to turn down and when to hit the brake, when to hit the gas, works a lot better than just me throwing them in throwing them in a passenger seat and saying, I got it. Another family activity here. This is actually another exercise for my family and your family. If you do purchase the Unlearn and Relearn family journal, if I say curriculum, that we can do together as a family to both interact and both trade ideas and things of that nature. So again, y'all, just to sum it up, like I said, this is the Unlearn and Relearn family journal. This journal was created again to spread child equality, to again strengthen, broaden, and just really zero in on the togetherness. A lot of the broken individuals and the broken systems that we see current day are based off people who didn't have that family backing, who didn't get those life lessons when they were younger, who didn't get that information, who didn't have that ear they could call on, who just didn't have that support system. Family, to me, is the key to individual success. Where you come from will dictate a whole lot where you're going. I know people always say it doesn't, but studies, history shows we are all creatures of habit, especially We are all creatures of habit, especially children. They tend to emulate the things they hear, see, and are surrounded with. Make sure they have an amazing experience while they're here. They didn't ask you for this welcome party to the world. But again, if you want to grab the family Unlearn and Relearn journal, be sure to grab yours at derrickgrace2.com.